Session 34, Session 34, 27th November 2022. Session 34, 27th November 2022. The exegesis of Quran. We continue with the fifth surah of exegesis of Quran, Quran summarized by ex-brigadier Mustan Sadullah. We continue with the fifth surah of Surah Fatiha, that is, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Give us the right path. Give us the right path. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وقاتلوا المشركين كفة كما يقاتلونكم كفة واعلموا أن الله مع المتقين. Ninth Surah Al-Tawbah, verse 36. Translation. And you fight together against disbelievers, mushrikeen, in all eventualities and conditions, as they all will invariably fight against you. And be warned, Allah is with those who fear Him. And be warned, Allah is with those who fear Him. Next, Surah An-Nisa, Surah 4, verse 75. And you fight together against disbelievers, mushrikeen, in all branches and conditions, as they all will invariably fight against you. And be warned, Allah is with those who fear Him. That was At-Tawbah, Surah 36. Now An-Nisa, Surah 475, I read it out. وَمَا كَانَ تقاتلون في سبيل الله والمستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان والوالد الذين يقولون ربنا أخرجنا من هذه القرية إذ ظلم أهلها وأجعل الناس من لدنك وليا وأجعل الناس من لدنك نصيرا. An-Nisa, Surah 475, translation. And O believers, what is the matter with you? You are not galas, fools, idiots. There is definitely something spiteful, detestable with you, that you do not fight in the way of Allah for the women and children, the wretched, miserable, helpless human beings who are beseeching, O our Rabb, Creator, what's our fault that we are not permitted to breathe freely? Take us out of this city, country, the powerful, ruthless people of which are wrenching, crushing, overriding, transgressing, persecuting, not allowing us to live according to our light, faith, beliefs, and send somebody from your side who provides us security and help us to live with the rights that you have given every human being. Now, Al-Kabut, verse 1-5. إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله ثم لم يرتبوا وجاهدوا بأموالهم بأنفسهم في سبيل الله أولئك هم الصادقون. 4:9, verse 5. Those are the actual believers who believe in Allah, in all that Allah and His Prophet have ordered them. Not then do not doubt any iota. Then do not doubt any iota, or not are not skeptical, schismatic, and fight with their wealth, property, and risk their lives in the way as per the orders of Allah. These only are the truthful believers. These only are the truthful believers. The rest are hypocrites. The rest are hypocrites if able-bodied. 29 Al-Ankabut verse 7. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَنَكَفِّرَنَّ عَنْهُمْ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ أَحْسَنَ الَّذِينَ كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. 29 Al-Ankabut translation 7. And those who believe and substantiate their belief, pious deeds, as per orders of Allah, not adopting the easy only, and disobeying the difficult, will definitely quench away their shortcomings, shortfalls, weaknesses, peccadillos, minor sins, and definitely reward them enormously or far greater than the value of their deeds, and definitely reward them enormously far greater than the value of their deeds. Ankabut 29, next verse 8. وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْنِ حُسْنًا وَإِنْ جَحَدُوا لِنُشْرِكَ بِهِ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ علم فلا تطيعهما لله مرجعكم فأنبئكم بما كنتم تعملون. Ankabut 29 verse 8. Translation: The obedience of parents follows the obedience of Allah and His Prophet. The obedience of parents follows the obedience of Allah and His Prophet. And so, we have ordered the man, every individual, to be extremely kind, courteous to the parents, and however, disobeying Allah and His Prophet on the behest, orders, directions, compulsions from anyone, any corner is not permitted, even if the parents force you to the optimum to have other gods, associates, demigods. Adopt disbelievers. Even if they force you to adopt disbelievers' ways and values, as opposed to Sunnah, for which you have no knowledge, no reasons, and then do not obey them, do not follow them, do not feel morse, gloomy. Be sure this is also one of your tests, and ultimately you all have to come back to me. Stand in the altar, then I'll let you know what all you were up to. Then I'll let you know what all you were up to. Man will have to account for all he was made responsible, deserve his power, authority, rank, post, job, relationships, and the intellectual, mental, and physical capabilities he had been endowed. Man will have to account for all he was made responsible for, deserve his power, authority, rank, post, job, relationships, and the intellectual, mental, and physical capabilities he had been endowed. The one who enforces, harasses, or is advertently instrumental in any way in propelling, furthering, expanding misbeliefs, misdeeds, evil, the Kantrasana shall pay for it. The one who enforces, harasses, or is advertently instrumental in any way in propelling, furthering, expanding will misbeliefs, misdeeds, evil, the Kantrasana shall pay for it. And he who buckles, bows, is subdued, consents, and adopts the Kantrasana would also be punished to the degree of a schism, divergence, digression, rather than ordering, directing, persuading, educating their children, young or grown up, unmarried or married, to obey Allah and His Prophet, follow the Sunnah. Contrariwise, the parents direct them not to keep or shave off beards, etc., or follow other contrasunnahs, when direct or shave off beards, etc., or follow other contrasunnah, they shall surely not escape the retribution of Allah. First, they didn't follow the orders of Allah. Second, they didn't advise the good and dissuade the children, others, from the evil, and to pour oil on flames, directed their children to follow the opposite course, the antithesis of piety, the Sunnah. These, if they die without repentance, reformation, and the resolute ones, the irrepressible believers, cannot be treated alike. These, if they die without repentance, reformation, and the resolute ones, the irrepressible believers, cannot be treated alike, for Allah is obeyed. Allah is beyond all aberrations, errors of judgment. When the believers are put to test under the yoke of the disbelievers, sinful, through misery, poverty, etc., which they cannot escape, evade, They respond in either of the two ways. First, who do not desire to bear hardships, loss of job, comfortable living, a good house, cars, children's education, perks, privileges, have to give up all to live as per poor people and therefore join the club with the disbelievers sinful. These are the munafiqeen, hypocrites. The other category is of the people who fear the wrath, the annoyance, the punishment of Allah hereafter more, more than death, torture, imprisonment, misery, poverty, that is the punishment unleashed by the disbelievers. Thus they become more resolute, resounding, clear, and decisively ardent followers of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Irrepressible, irrepressible, vouchsafed to resist the evil, to sacrifice all their comforts and those of their children. And whereas the munafiqeen, hypocrites, shudder, shake like a leaf, they stand as the proxy of Allah, invincible, undefeatable. For who dies in the way of Allah is the actual victorious. For who dies in the way of Allah is the actual victorious. Even if he doesn't die fighting for the cause of Allah, the cause of good, the pious, to save the lives of the miserable, wretched, pathetic believers, he shall still be grouped with martyrs hereafter for having risked his life. Allah definitely manifests, shows the true believers and the munafiqeen, hypocrites in this world. None can wriggle out, escape his test sinuously or deviously. None can wriggle out, escape his test sinuously or deviously. He aggrandizes, elevates those close to him who follow to the dot, who follow to the dot the footprints of his Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Here we come to the end of the fifth verse of Surah Fatiha. Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, give us the right path, and begin with the next surahs, Surah 6 and 7, the last surahs of Surah Fatiha. Sirat al-Lazina an'amta alayhim, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. The surah verses 6 and 7, Sirat al-Lazina an'amta alayhim, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. The path of those whom we have rewarded, not the ones who earned your rice, that is the Jews, nor those who went astray, that is the Christians. 4 types of people are among the blessed, rewarded. Believers, the prophets, Siddiqs, the truthful, 3, the martyrs, and 4, the pious. This has been determined at other places in Quran. Al-Maghzubi alayhim, those who earned your annoyance, means the Jews. and Zoalin, those who have gone astray, indicates the Christians. This is witnessed through other verses and various traditions, and departure from the straight, right path is in two ways: ignoring or following the wrong path knowingly. Any misguided group earlier or later can't be excluded from these two modes of misguidance. The Jews are significant for the first, that is, following the wrong path deliberately, and ignorance. Christians, the second, that is ignorance, for the second, that is ignorance. Recognizing Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be last among the lineage of prophets, they turned away the other. Recognizing Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be the last among the lineage of prophets, they turned the other way. Now, Surah 2, verse 91, Surah Baqarah, verse 91. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا بِمَا أُنزِلَ اللَّهُ قَالُوا أَنُؤْمِنُ بِمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَيْنَا. And when the Jews are asked to believe what Allah has sent, they say, we only believe what has been sent to us. And when the Jews are asked to believe what Allah has then they say, we only believe what has been sent to us. And when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them to follow their Rabb, Torah, to follow their book, Torah, in which his advent had been clearly mentioned, in which the Prophet's advent has been clearly mentioned, forecasted. They feared being overmastered and refused to adhere even to their own book. They feared being overmastered and refused to adhere even to their own book. That's the end for today. Please pray for me. Shall meet tomorrow, inshallah. Ex-Brigadier Mustansar Billah.